What up? It's your boy T-Bear, and the reaction today is a continuation from Wrestle Wednesday. Probably watching on Thursday or anything. But anyway, hot takes. Get your hot takes. It's time for some hot takes. I had the worst wrestler every year set, but instead I saw this new hot take. So let me get this out the way. 'Cause you know how these are. Especially say Zara, it's a 9-minute video, but the video itself is 9 minutes, but it's gonna be long. But my reaction to it is gonna be longer because you know how I feel, and with hot takes, especially when I express myself with it. Anyway, let's get it. The title is called "We Might Have a Problem." Let's get it.
Welcome back to their hot takes video, and the first one says CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre should main event Bad Blood. No ifs and no buts. And honestly, because of this, we
It is questionable about this. It's been a question about who should be the main event between either them two or the Cody Rhodes and Roman versus the Bloodline 2 Bloodline review. Now, only thing is, I can see this being the main event. I hate that the fact that it's almost a run theme that your top champion is not being the main event. You know what I mean? And I got hear from the folks, the Cody haters and the Bloodline lovers and the heel Roman lovers, talk about Roman would never and all this as well too. So I will mind this being the main event. Just I hate that the fact that the other is not the main event, and we want to hear that nonsense again. But anyway, let's keep going. You know, the reason why he was the main event in most of the pay per view because one, it was a location based pay per view, and people that represent that location deserve that main event. Just saying, but
might have a huge problem with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, and Triple H, and the entire WWE. As we know, CM Punk and Drew have the best feud going into Bad Blood. They have the match that has the most hype, and it's going to be a hell in a cell because there's a lot of beef between these two people. Then you had Roman Reigns and Cody just team up and reportedly take their main event spot, and that could lead to a huge problem. I think CM Punk and Drew should main event, but then again, you got Roman Reigns, the biggest star in the world, and then also Cody Rhodes, who is a top 5 star in the world as well as the WWE champion. We got a big problem, and a lot of people are thinking that CM Punk might crash out because this user on Twitter says the Bloodline just awakened a mythical wrestler and they aren't ready. CM politician.
oh Lord,
Like I said, this could become a big problem if CM Punk is truly upset with the fact that he doesn't get the main event. Who knows? The man might have another backstage brawl. Hopefully that isn't the case, and I kind of trust CM Punk won't. But I really think that WWE.
Here's the thing. I doubt that it'd be like that with Punk. I think Punk is humble enough to know what's going on in WWE as well too, and don't have the issue with anybody in WWE at the moment right now. I'm not sure if unless there's some issue I don't know about. At the same time, I think CM Punk learns lessons from his time with AEW, and he's not going to try to put us up through that same shit over again. So no. I doubt that happens. So, but I feel like they still should. There's the chances are they might main event. I won't be mad at it as well too. To be honest, but the only thing I irks about me because we could possibly I don't feel like dealing with the Cody haters with the nonsense. That's all.
You should consider making that the main event of the show. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I really don't think it matters too much. Like, yes, do I want and prefer CM Punk's main event with Drew? Yes. However, if they open the show, it's not the end of the world.
It's not.
I'm just hoping there's no problems. But if there are, honestly, a CM Punk and Roman feud could start from this very storyline. So it's not a terrible idea. Speaking of Drew and CM Punk, this hot take says that Drew needed Punk to elevate his career, and I completely.
Here, good, and I got a feeling I have a person I kind of follow on Twitter who's in love with Drew and hate damn near everything about Punk as well as don't like Cody and look at others that will probably agree with this. But let's go.
Agree. I think Drew has always been a great star to have in the WWE, but his feud with CM Punk took him to the next level, and he feels like an even bigger star.
Wait. Hold up. I read that wrong. Drew needed Punk. No. The other way around, Drew needed Punk to elevate his career. Yeah, she ain't gonna like that. She ain't gonna like that. But still, I feel like, yep, Drew has a good career. I definitely agree that Punk definitely elevated a lot more He's definitely making him as the biggest heel, and almost like I said into the lady I said as a Drew fan, more likable as well too. She won't like him regardless, but there's folks that's kind of is like back and between seeing if it's saying that Drew is the real good guy and Punk's the bad guy. I mean, no one situation is saying with the little Terror Twins and Judgment Day 2.0. It's crazy.
Took him to the next level, and he feels like an even bigger star than before. Drew has now entered that territory where he can main event with Roman, where he can main event with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Gunther. It doesn't matter because I think CM Punk put Drew on that level. This feud has been great for both men. The last hot take about CM Punk in this video says that Punk should turn heel next year, and I totally agree. I think a lot of people are expecting CM Punk and Seth Rollins to wrestle in a singles match at WrestleMania, and that is when he turns heel. But if WWE pivots and we get CM Punk versus Roman, then a heel Punk versus Roman would go absolutely insane. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it, but, at this point, shit's is inavailable with any goddamn thing. So I just gotta deal with it, and fortunately, boom, educated as well too. Amari got enough nonsense because one, we about to have a breakup with the New Day, and I got to root against either Xavier or possibly Kofi. We got the Hurt Syndicate happen, and I'd rather them be anti-tweeners just to the fact that I don't want to deal with the nonsense I dealt with when the Hurt Business was a thing with groups I was in. Again, the Job Materials groups are already on some hope tip craziness as well too, with the lack of representation of blacks in WWE, the hate towards Triple H, everything is ridiculous at this point. So God knows how they gonna act when the Hurt Syndicate happens, and they don't act toward folks that won't root for them because they're not heels, because they're heels and not faces. I don't want to know. I might be just those days, or Dynamite days, I might just not even take a break from the group, take a Wednesday break from the group just cause.
But it happens. Gaming Lord says that Cody's title reign has become better after the segment with Roman, and that's what happens when you have Roman freaking Reigns. The guy does everything and elevates everything in the WWE.
I would take that compliment. I'll take that just because we finally got some little more positive reception of Cody's title run. I'll take it.
To feel extremely special. This hot take from Twitter says that The Rock beating Cody for the title would be terrible for the WWE. And I can see how people might think that would be a problem, but I don't mind it too much if The Rock were to beat Cody at like maybe Netflix on Raw, the first episode in January, and only hold the belt for a few months and then maybe drop it back to Cody or Roman. I don't see a problem with The Rock being...
That's what I agree. That's one thing I'll be okay with it. Is he possibly dropping their reigns for Mania either to Cody, or we do get Rock versus Roman for the title. No only thing. Although I don't want Roman to have the title again, but then again, I don't mind it because it'd be babyface this time. And there's chances all Roman's going to be in the Royal Rumble this year as well too, so that could be a good bit right there too. But one thing is, I don't want Cody losing the title too soon, but at the same time, I get it. Other than that, let's keep going.
Champion, honestly, because I think that it'll be a cool run. I think he would show up plenty of times. We saw what he did last year. He was showing up at least 2 or 3 times a month. True. Which is pretty good, honestly. So I would not mind if The Rock actually wins the title and holds it for a few months. But if he's holding it for a year, now that's a little just too much, all right? So I hope that...
Yeah.
Another hot take from Twitter says that Roman does not need another...
I'll say not ever, but not too soon, I will say.
World title reign ever again, and I completely disagree. If Roman does ever win a championship and has the run that he had last time where he barely shows up, then I would agree. But
yes,
just based off this return right now, he's showing up a decent amount of times, and this is what we need from Roman. Honestly, all I want from a part-time world champion is for them to show up twice or 3 times a month. I think there's no problem.
I feel like I don't mind it. One, it might show up more, and 2, he's going to be a babyface now.
Case, you can go by a week without the world champion, but it's a problem when it's months and months. Speaking of world champions, Blazingville says that Gunther's reign has the possibility of being a top 10 reign if done right, and I think it's just too early to tell. I don't know if I don't think that Gunther. There's been so many.
It's too early, and let's be honest, his run is great that he's the champion for those who like Gunther like that, but at the same time, his run been okay. To be honest, it's gonna be okay.
Many great world champions that I just can't see Gunther beating the top 10. It was a different story with the IC Championship because there weren't many long great champions with that belt, but for the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship and all world champions, it's just a lot
Sorry,
harder
Mom,
to get
watching.
in
That's
that
my
top
hair
10
watching in the
list.
background.
Justin Jones says that Chad Gable needed the IC Championship more than Jey Uso. Changed my mind. Spoiler, you're not. And I kind of agree and disagree. What I agree is that I think Chad Gable should have been the IC Champion, but they should have done it a different way.
Exactly.
He should have beaten Gunther, or he should have beaten Sami Zayn, and then imagine Jey Uso
I say more Gunther than Sammy, but I get it.
beating Chad Gable. That would have been a lot better than Braun Breaker being the one to lose to Jey Uso, because you would have given Chad the IC Championship, and then Jey would have completely got even more over by beating Chad Gable and his Goon Squad. This hot take says that WrestleMania 41 should feature a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens, and I would not mind if this were to happen, but if I had to pick, I would rather want to see a singles match between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Champion if they go down that route.
But Triple H's on my mind.
Cinema Love says that Miz is more WWE Hall of Fame worthy than Daniel Bryan. I gotta say, like, yes, I can see the argument you're making in this hot take, but to me, and I think a lot of other people, Daniel Bryan is still more Hall of Fame worthy. But at the end of the day, I think they're both going into the Hall of Fame. I think if Daniel Bryan wants to, I don't know if he really wants to, because the guy's all in on AEW. But if he ever were to come back maybe 20, 30 years down the line just to get an induction, I could see that happening. Silverwatch says that Vince McMahon's documentary was mid.
I can't say nothing. I ain't watched it, and I might be honest. I may not watch it because I close the documentary, like stuff like that. I tend to not want to watch it. Like with the same when it came to the R. Kelly thing, anything that has to do with like controversial and all that. I possibly might not want to watch it. I mean, I almost try to watch the Why I Was Set, just couldn't find time. But at the same time, I'm not sure I want to watch the rest of it, to be honest. So yeah.
AF, I completely agree. There was nothing new. If you follow WWE,
and a lot of people were saying that too, that it's nothing new from what we've been hearing already. So yeah, that's all reasons too. Like it's worth wasting the time to watch it.
A fan, you pretty much knew everything that went down, but I will say it was a well-produced and well edited and well done documentary, especially for casuals who will watch this and say, damn, that's pretty interesting, I never knew that. The next hot take says that the crowd booing Dom loudly when he's about to speak is just getting old, and to me it's not, so I gotta disagree with this hot take. I love it every time it happens.
No, until he learned his fucking lesson for what he doing and what's he doing, he will get booed the fuck out of the building till he ready to stop the nonsense and become a babyface again. Till then, fuck that piece of shit DM Mysterio, and the DM stand for dirty motherfucker. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got different laptops, so I have the gift on there though. But anyway, yeah. So fuck that dirty motherfucker. How about that?
I always have a smile on my face. It's a lot of fun.
Me too.
It makes it very difficult for him to even speak. And I can't wait till
he deserves his
face and the crowd likes him so he can finally cut a promo.
Exactly.
This hot take says the Survivor Series War Games PLE makes no sense, just like the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view when they were...
Here's the thing. I said this plenty of times. Let the War Games be storyline based only. Don't throw in people for War Games. Let the only War Game match be the Bloodline Civil War. That's it. For the ladies, go back to the traditional Survivor Series elimination match. And then you can even add a male one, whether it's a tag team elimination match or a single man throw match. I don't care. Don't matter. This year should be a mixture of both. You know what I mean? Don't just throw a women's one together just to have a women's one. No.
Agree. I think we got to stop with the War Games at Survivor Series every single time. We can maybe see this maybe once every 2 or 3 years, or maybe do it at different pay-per-views depending on the story. But I don't think there's a need to do it at every Survivor Series. The next hot take says that Money in the Bank shouldn't be an annual thing if they don't have a good plan for whoever holds the briefcase. And I gotta completely agree. Like, for
Yeah.
example, Drew McIntyre winning, there was no need for him to win just to fail the cash in later in the night. It was kind of redundant with all the times that CM Punk was screwing Drew. So I agree with this hot take. It's a good one. The next one comes from Twitter. It says, WWE would have too many titles if they introduced 2 women's mid-card championships. That really hurts to say because they deserve it, but it is true. I don't think it's true at all. Adding the women's IC and the women's US championship is a great idea. I think they should do it. I have zero problem with it. If anything, it'll have more meaningful matches on Raw and SmackDown, and also better storylines for the women. So I have no problem with it. I don't think it's a problem at all. Icy says that feeding American Made to the Wyatts was just stupid. Chad needed to be pushed. The Creed brothers needed to be pushed, and they just looked like jobbers against the Wyatt Six. For what exactly? Their rivalry kind of ended like nothing significantly even happened. This is a good hot take. I agree with it 100%. I don't know why Chad Gable and American Made would lose. It kind of made them look stupid. You kind of killed all the momentum once they just got it after forming. Hopefully things can turn around.
I feel like, here's the thing, like I said, I feel like it will be a turnaround, but they needed to be punished for what they did. That's all. I'm okay with it. But I feel like they're going to turn around and make stuff very significant as a good heel challengers to, they got there's other, they could be the next contender after whatever face champion beats Finn and JD. Is it Finn? Yeah, Finn and JD. And or they can, or I'm thinking it's no draft, so I don't know. Well, by either way, I can see them being a contender for tag titles down the line. So I will say that, or have a feud with another tag team down the line.
Right now, things aren't looking too good for American Made. Devin says that Brock Lesnar's overhated when it comes to his wrestling and UFC career. I don't know about UFC.
UFC I can't say nothing about, but WWE is 50-50. There's something that he deserves it's kind of deserved because he was I say Roman was worse with it. He definitely was the principal barely showing up with a title. So he gets the hate for that, and the way they book him, he deserved the hate for that. But at the same time, he still does his thing though as well. So it's 50-50.
Too much. I didn't watch Brock Lesnar or his UFC career, but when it comes to wrestling, I think that Brock has one of the best wrestling careers of all time. He's one of the best wrestlers ever. Kevin says that the Great Khali is the #1 worst wrestler of all time. I low-key liked Great Khali, at least before he became
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he's #1 worst. He's definitely one of the worst, but not #1.
Babyface and joined Santino Marella. That's when he got too goofy for me. But when he was a badass heel in 2008, that's when Great Khali, in 2007 too, that's when he was awesome. So I will say Great Khali is not the worst wrestler of all time. There's plenty of other people that are worse than the Great Khali. 10-Star Classic says that this is day 351 of asking to be in one of these videos, and their hot take is Edge is the greatest heel of all time. Just because they asked so many times, I feel like I gotta include it in the video. And this is also a good hot take, but I don't agree with it. I think Edge is probably in the top 10 or 15 best heels of all time, but he is not #1. I think you got people like Triple H, you got people like Vince McMahon, you got people like Randy Orton who are ahead of him. Ric Flair is another great name. So while Edge is in the top 10 or 15, he's not #1. And Krypton Elite says that Edge has the worst spear of all time. Ooh. That is something I can agree with. Edge's spear is just not good. I don't know if it's...
I can see why folks go there because, compared to other spears like Goldberg, Roman, Rhino, Braun Breaker, and a good amount of others, it's definitely down the bottom of the total point as far as spears. Out of the top 5, out of the top ones, he's definitely in the bottom because it's like more of a basic tackle in my opinion. Even Jay's spear kind of better than Edge, no lie. Other than that, though, this was a good top take. I turned a 90-minute to 18 minutes, so not too bad. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.